Hey y'all, it's C-Dog here for the May Turn Left podcast. In today's episode, we are going to be introducing Crawford into the podcast today and getting to know him a little bit more today. So I hope y'all enjoys today's episode of the May Turn Left podcast. Hey guys, it's C-Dog here with Crawford. And honestly, it's kind of nice to actually get you onto this podcast, bro.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome, man. And by any chance, something I asked everyone else, like, what kind of video game would be your go-to video game to play? I'm gonna start it off with video games this time.
Well, I only played two main video games, and that's normally just Grand Theft Auto 5 or Red Dead Redemption. Both made by Rockstar, and they're really fun to play. The graphics are amazing. And I've grown up playing a lot of Grand Theft Auto video games, and I don't know, there's just something about them that gives me, like, I don't know, it's kind of an exhilarating rush.
Yeah, honestly, I actually been playing a little bit more of the Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, it's fire.
Yeah?
Honestly, I'd rather play it over Grand Theft Auto.
Honestly, Red Dead Redemption is probably above Grand Theft Auto for me.
It kind of gives me the vibe of back when me and Grandpa just sit there watch westerns.
Uh-huh.
And on top of that, we can just, when you play it, it just reminds me of the times I also used to ride the horses with Grandpa.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, if you looked at my online character, you could honestly say he probably looks like Sam fucking Elliott.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But
playing the game, it basically gives you your own story to tell, aside from the story mode. And like even after that, it gives you a story that you can play by.
Yeah, and by the way, another question.
Okay.
Who would you want to explain how we met?
How do I?
And the first experience we had when we met.
I believe it was high school, wasn't it?
Yeah.
High school, yeah.
But let me tell you, that back in high school, dude, we were little crazy motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I remember when we jumped that track at Liberty. Halloween night.
I was going to say, which time?
Oh, Halloween night.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The one where the shock went boom.
Yeah.
that was one wicked ass night, though.
Yeah. That was a little intense, but it was still pretty fun.
Like, and on top of that, I hate to be the asshole, but who was the one that got you to take your first dip, me or Catalyst?
I think it was Catalyst, but you were both there because you both witnessed me doing it, and it was in the school parking lot.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not sure what kind I tried. I think it was Grizzly Wintergreen, and oh god.
Oh,
it was so bad. I
remember now.
I hated it so much.
I remember it now. It was like one of those, Catalyst was trying to get you to take a dip, and you knew me, I was dipping at the time too.
Yeah.
Hell, I was dipping in school.
Yeah.
But it was one of those, Catalyst was trying his damnedest to get you to try it.
I didn't want to at first, and then when it finally touched my mouth, like, I couldn't control it because I was new to it. So it just kept swimming around, and it would, like, get stuck on my tongue. And I don't know.
Like, dude, I think I was the one, like, telling you, warning, this shit is addictive. Because you knew after I took my first 2 or 3 dips, that's all I was doing from then on.
When I first tried it, I was like, I don't know how anyone could be addicted to this. It's so bad. And then after a couple weeks, I was like, this isn't too bad.
And then when you went it was that period of time in between from the time you tried it until after you were, like, away from it for a while.
Yeah.
It was like, dude, I really want it now.
I remember trying some off-brand tobacco, like it wasn't actual tobacco. It was like the Rocky Mountain, it was the mountain.
Oh, Smoky Mountain.
Smoky Mountain.
That was the most
worst.
Disgusting shit ever.
Like, I think I was happy. I think I was glad to try, like, normal tobacco, like chewing tobacco, than putting that crap.
Speaking of which, dip time. Dip time.
like, there have been a few times where I've accidentally swallowed my spit and it's just gotten lodged down in there and
we all been there, bro.
It was bad. But after a progressive amount of time, it didn't seem too bad or too awful. I got used to it.
Like,
even if I'm used to it, I mean, it'll still occur to me like, it'll still get like lodged in my throat when I go to spit it out. Or
all right, I got one for you.
Okay.
All right, the idea of me and Catalyst doing one final dip video, the suicide of every dip ever done on the channel.
Mm-hmm.
Are you willing to join in? Gotta have the. I want to see the original 3 people from the channel.
I think we can do it, and I know we've done it before, and we've
almost puked every goddamn time.
Yeah, and some of it wasn't even like new cans. It was like old cans that we found that were still full.
Yeah,
and I think we've tried it.
One of those when you're low on dip. If you're a hardcore redneck like us 2 motherfuckers and Catalyst, if you run low on dip and you have plenty of cans around, but they're all empty,
you just mix them all into one empty can.
Yeah, you mix every single one of them empty cans into one can.
Yeah. And as bad as it sounds, it wasn't that bad because it still gave you a little bit of a nicotine high and a bit of a rush. It did suck at some points, but it was kind of your last go-to option.
It was one of those when it was your last calling for it, then you had no other choice.
Yeah.
Especially when you had no money.
Yeah.
But honestly, I'm not being a kiss ass or anything. Best non-tobacco dip I've ever had. Outlaw.
Outlaw is pretty good.
Honestly,
some nice juicy flavors.
I tried his Southern Sweet Tea again here lately with the reformulation.
Mm-hmm.
It tastes better than it did before. It actually has a sweet tea taste now, unlike the unsweetened tea before.
Yeah.
But remember when me and Bubba ended up mixing the bourbon in the tea and made it phenomenal?
Mm-hmm.
I think that was in the video called Squirrel.
Do you remember, what was it that we tried? It was like Jolly Ranchers, and it was like tobacco, and we mixed it with like Jolly Ranchers or something.
Oh, the blue raspberry dip. Trying to make a blue raspberry dip.
Yeah.
But it just turned out to be a chewable tobacco.
Yeah.
It's like a piece of gum because of the Jolly Rancher. It was like gum. But after a while, the Jolly Rancher kind of went away and it added more of the tobacco taste.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't really satisfy the chewing tobacco need.
But it was still really good.
It was decently good. I got to thank my mother for that one. Because, you gotta admit, she did pretty damn good with it. But it was just one of those, would I ever suggest doing it again? No.
Yeah, probably not.
That'd be a no-go for me. Like, I'm down to try random dip combinations here and there. Like, if it sounds interesting, yeah, I'll probably mix it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, fuck, like I said a little bit ago, mix this Skull Cool Spearmint with Copenhagen Wintergreen.
Right.
Like Copenhagen Wintergreen, Copenhagen Mint, perfectly mixed, fitty, makes the best flavor to me.
Yeah. That wouldn't be too bad. I'm actually kind of interested in seeing what that's like.
Honestly, I might go to the station, get me a can, and figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
But with all that aside, what kind of music actually interests you? Like, let's let the listeners know what kind of music you're into.
If you want me to be honest, I like a lot of country music, but I also like a lot of metal. Like, just, I don't know. It's just the intensity of, like, listening to a certain metal song that just gets you pumped for basically anything.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, I love listening to country music as well.
I mean, fuck, you could be a fucking hillbilly, redneck, white trash, chicken shit motherfucker.
Oh, I know a lot of people that listen to Metallica and AC/DC.
I mean, hell, you could be raised old school, Tennessean, or whatever country style there is, you know. And you could still listen to Eminem, Kid Rock.
Yeah.
What's his name? Elvis.
Elvis is pretty good.
Metallica, AC/DC, Journey. All that. I mean, he don't... Just because you listen to something that's not country doesn't make you not country.
There's a band out there called I Prevail.
I heard of
And
it.
they're like metalcore. And, I mean, if you want a basic idea of what kind of music I listen to, that, I mean, they fit in there perfectly. You know, A Day to Remember, I Prevail. I'm trying to think of some others. But those are just two general ideas of the type of music that I like listening to.
Yeah. All right. Another question to let the listeners know about you.
Okay.
What kind of anime do you like? Your favorite anime?
I wasn't too big on anime growing up, but I usually stuck to Pokemon. But I was recently introduced to an anime about a year back called Sword Art Online.
It has its ups and downs.
Or Akame ga Kill.
I heard good on it, but I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
Like, you know what my go-to is.
Yeah.
And it's Dragon Ball, Attack on Titan. Oh, another anime you should watch. Catalyst got me in on it. Orafuta.
I've never heard about that.
All I'm going to say is by the third episode, he already has a girl and he's already hitting that shit.
That's awesome.
And he becomes the most powerful motherfucker in the anime. I mean, he kills monsters, eats them, and whatever special abilities the monster had, he gets.
Huh.
Kind of like a Sword Art Online thing, but a little bit different. But besides anime, or if you were to make any kind of video game, okay, be RPG, shooter, simulation, anything like that, what would that said video game be? Anything in the world you'd want, and how it would probably be?
I don't know. That's a tough question. I've always liked shooters, or like Call of Duty games. Those have always been interesting.
Yeah, I kind of gave up on the franchise.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, honestly. That's a tough one.
Honestly, I mentioned it in a couple podcasts, and that would have to be a Dragon Ball game.
Yeah.
Complete open world, able to do what the fuck ever.
Yeah.
But have every genre from Ball, Z, GT, Super, and Dragon Ball Heroes.
Alright.
And honestly, if they would do that, that would probably be the best-selling video game ever. For Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
If they did it right. And, like Kakarot, it's okay.
Yeah.
But with how they're doing with DLCs and all that other shit, it's kind of becoming a flop. But other than all that, what would you say about making music again? Me and Catalyst was talking about that, and I believe one of our late night talks.
I mean, it's an idea. I mean, it could definitely happen. It would obviously take a lot of work, time, and effort.
Because I've been working on making beats again on my iPad. And me and Catalyst actually been working on making beats together, too.
Yeah.
And hell, maybe you can join in, too. If you're down for it. But, question is, are you still making YouTube videos still?
Not at the moment. I usually don't like making them by myself because I usually can't come up with anything. But if it was like a team thing, like a little team effort, or I don't know.
Kind of like a me and you, or you and Tanner deal.
Yeah.
Well, I do has a kind of a question.
Mm-hmm.
When you get your PS4 back, let me know. Do you have a headset?
I might, but I used to, but I don't think I have it anymore, which I'll have to get one.
Well, by any chance, would you be willing to do like streams?
Possibly, yeah.
Well, reason why I'm asking is because I was thinking about, since you got a PS4 now, work on getting you into like gaming videos.
I think I could do that. That'd be interesting. I've never made any gaming videos, but yeah, I see there's a lot of people that I like to watch on Twitch.
Well, by any chance, when next time we have available time to where you could be over and all that, how would you like to try make one with me and I help you out on editing to show you? Basically the basics.
Yeah, we can do that.
And then I'll just teach you how to upload. Make sure you signed in on your YouTube, or by any chance, I'll edit it. If you end up changing your name from Crawford,
Mm-hmm.
I'll edit it out and change the name.
All right.
But if you were to make another YouTube channel, what would you name it?
That's a good question. I have no clue.
You don't know?
No.
Well, honestly, I'm not quite sure either. Like, it could be a random variety of anything, dude. Like,
I mean, if I were to make YouTube videos, it would maybe just be gaming.
so you can, let me see here. All right, so I have a new name for you, and I have your channel created for you, as you can see.
Right.
You are now going to be known as Renegade Gaming, also known as Renegade, if that's okay.
That'll work.
Hopefully you like that name a little better, so that way, it's a kind of a fresh start.
Right.
So that way you ain't continuing Crawford. So it's one of those, I'm trying to help you do what Catalyst did.
Right.
Where he ended up dropping his old channel and name that we had known for a long while, and changed it and dropped it and just did a whole new fresh start.
Right. Yeah.
So it's one of those, hopefully this helps you out too.
Yeah.
And they'll help you. And don't worry, guys, I'll go ahead, head over to Renegade Gaming. It's a new channel, no videos yet. I'll probably end up promoting it on my TikTok and YouTube when we get it all figured out and set up for them. And then you guys go over there, hit that subscribe button, and gotta go.
I said hopefully we can get some videos up and going and start fresh and hopefully go from there.
Yeah, it's one of those, ever since we had the idea of the podcast,
Yeah.
if you notice, that's all my YouTube has been consisting of.
Yeah, for the most part.
And honestly, it's kind of nice being able to actually talk and communicate without having to stick to one certain subject, because that's what the video is supposed to be over.
Yeah.
Where the podcast, you can actually go over many other different topics.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those, say, you hit me up like, hey, C-Dog, you want to do a podcast episode? And I was like, well, what do you want to talk about? I don't know. We figure out on the way to go.
Yeah.
Kind of just eyeball it. I mean, that's one thing that is kind of amazing about this podcast.
Yeah.
So it's one of those, if you want to let viewers know about upcoming stuff, just talk about it. I know upcoming stuff I have is gonna be a little bit on the hard side. But yeah, upcoming soon, I'm actually going to work on getting my gaming videos out there.
Okay.
So be prepared to see them. And honestly, I reckon today is a good podcast introducing you. The new and improved, no more Crawford, but now Renegade. How does it feel to be called Renegade now instead of Crawford?
Feels a bit weird, feels different, but I think it's going to be good.
Hopefully this helps you out more.
Hopefully.
So, hope you guys enjoyed today's podcast. This is, oh damn, I almost said it again.
Renegade.
Yeah, Renegade. Hope to catch y'all on the next one. Hope y'all enjoyed today's episode, and hopefully we'll get to catch Renegade in another episode coming up soon.
Hopefully.
But it's nice having you on the podcast tonight, sir.
That's it. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. But go over, hit subscribe on his new YouTube channel, Renegade Gaming. I'll put that on my YouTube channel later too to help him out. And I reckon I'll catch y'all on the next one. Later.